last video, we have seen the backend part, how we can connect our application to the MongoDB, then we test some APIs. Now in this video, we will create the front end and we will see how we can connect our backend application to the front end. So let's start. So first we go to this front end folder. Now we create the application using the Vite npm create Vite. I'm using the latest and our app name. Let's call it food blog app. Now we want to create app in React, so choose the React JavaScript. Now our app has been created. Now next we will install the npm. Not here. First we have to go to our app cd food blog and then we will install. So let me copy this. Now we will install the npm package. It will take some time. So while creating the app, we use the Vite instead of CRA. So basically Vite is useful to faster development if you use the CRA. So maybe when our application grow, then our local server will be little bit slower. So nowadays everyone is using this Vite because of the faster development. Now we are done with this installation. So let's run our application npm run dev. Here it's running on localhost 5173. We go to our browser. Let me copy this, or you can click on that link. Here you can see our app is running. So let's go to our VS Code. This package lock JSON file, I don't know when it is created. Let me delete that. We already have one. So let me delete. Go to the browser to check if everything is running fine. Yeah, it's working. So now we inside the src folder we get the app.jsx asset index.js. So I'm removing all the things and we will add the creating the function app. We don't have anything right now inside this app right now. First I will import the app.css file. We go to this app.css. I'm removing all these things and I'm adding my own. Here we have the css file, so you don't need to worry about the css. I will provide the link in description. Our main focus is Node.js, so don't worry about styling part. I have created the folder pages. Inside that I will create a home.jsx. We'll create a function home. Now inside that we add the React fragment. Then we write a code form for this home page. We add a div section and class name home. We already have the CSS home. Then another div left and I'm adding the another div for right. Now inside this div we'll add one heading food recipe. Inside this h5 tag I'm adding some random text, so I'm copying this from here lorem, copying some text, dummy text, and paste it here. Now adding one button, share your recipe. This will add the recipe. So now on the right side we will add one image. Currently we don't have any image, so I will use these fake images. I will copy this to image and go to our project folder. Node.js. Inside the src folder we have the asset folder. I will paste it here and delete this React image, we don't need it. So we have the two image under the asset folder. If I open this asset, you can see these two image. So let's import this food recipe image. under the assets folder we have this image, food recipe.png. Yes, as equal to food recipe. Then we add some width and height. Let's say width 320 pixel and height will be 300 pixel. Then next I will add one SVG image. Let's say class name BG. We go to this is the gateway website. Here you can copy any web, you can use it in your website, and you can also choose the color up and down. So let's search for the color we are using in our application. Go to the CSS. Here we can see the color we are using. Yeah, this is the color, background color we are using. I'm copying this and paste it here, and then choose the gateway we want. Yeah, this I will choose copy SVG and then go to the home.jsx and paste it here. Simple. And then here I will change it to fill opacity, so we will not get any warning. So now next we want to install the React router DOM. So we go to this our folder, food block app, and install the npm I React router DOM. We have successfully installed. Then we go to the app.jsx. Then we will import create browser router and router provider. Here I am using the updated version of React router DOM. Earlier we are using the routes switch to route. So here I am using the create browser router. Next we will define the one variable router and call the create browser router function. It will take the array of object. This object is basically the path. We'll send the path slash and element which we want to render. I want to render to the home element, so we add the home. Now we return this React router router provider and pass that. It will take the property router and we pass our router. Now we are done. So go to the browser, refresh. Here you can see the image, button, all things are good, it looks nice. So next we will add the navbar and footer. So let's create a folder, components. Inside that folder we will create the navbar and footer, navbar.jsx. Then here we have created the function for the navbar, React fragment. Then we'll add the header tag. Inside that we will have the h2. We will say food block. For the menu we will use the ul tag, and at the li tag we'll list down the menu. We have the home. Then we have the my recipe tab. I will copy this and paste it. Then we have the favorites. It will show all our favorite recipes. My recipe, it will show all our recipe that we have added. Then we have the login and logout option. Then next we have the footer. So let's create a file for footer.jsx rfc. Let's create a function for the footer. Now let me remove this footer. We'll add our text. Add a class name footer. You don't need to worry about this class name and styling. I have already in that app.css file. Then copyright imaginary engineering. This is our footer. Now we go back to our home page, and here I am adding the navbar and footer. So let's go to the browser. Here you can see the nice header and footer is added. It looks nice. So let's go back. Now if you notice one thing, every time we need this footer and navbar in every pages, so every time when we need to add that. So instead of writing the same thing, what we can do, we can create one root element inside the components. I am creating the file main navigation.jsx. This is our root element. In a path, we will provide the path for that main navigation element render to this main navigation. First let me create the function for that main navigation and export that function. So we'll say main navigation, and it will take attribute children, and it is the array. So all the remaining path we will add as a children of this main navigation. Then we'll go to this main navigation, remove this, add the React fragment, then navbar, outlet from React router DOM. This basically rendered the children. Then we have the footer. If you go to the app.jsx home page, we go to the home page and remove that navbar and footer. We don't need it anymore because we already added. It was saying navbar is not defined. So let's go to that main navigation. We haven't added the navbar. Let's import the navbar. Yes, now we go back. Here you can see the navbar and footer is displayed, even though we have removed it from the home pages. If you see this home page, we don't have the any footer and navbar. Here we added the main navigation as our root path, and as a children we will add all other paths. So we are done. So we'll render the recipe item. So for that we'll create the file recipe item.jsx. I will create a function recipe item and export it. So first we go to the app.jsx. First we need to fetch the data from database, fetch the item, that recipe item we have. So for that we can define one method, get all the recipes. It will return all the recipes we have in our database. I will make it a sync function. If I show you in database, refresh it, here we have the food recipe database. We have the two items right now, this matar paneer and another one. So we will go back here and we will use the first I will define one variable to store all the recipes. All recipes, it is array, and then await. For to call the API request, I am using the Axios. So let's install the Axios, npm I Axios. I have made a spelling mistake, AXIOS. Now it will take time, it's installed. So let's import the Axios from Axios. Then we call the method get and pass the URL. So let's check our Thunder client where we test our API. Where is it? That Thunder here. Now here is our URL. Let me click on send. Here we are getting all the recipes. So I'm copying this URL. Go back to our app.jsx and I'm paste it here. This is our URL. Then .10. We resolve the promise and return the response. Then we will store the response in all recipes, response.data. We will get the array of items and we will return that all recipes array. Here is the our method get all recipes, and here in path we will add the attribute loader and call our get all recipes. That get all recipes function will be called before we render this home component. before we redirect to the home, that we will fetch the data from database. Here home page, I will add a div and call this recipe items component. We will render all the items, and class name I am giving the recipe. We go to this recipe item. Now we call that get loader method, get all recipes. So fetch the data from that loader. We have the one who use loader data, so it will fetch the data from that loader function we have passed. So let's console log this all recipes. Let's check if we get the data or not. So we go to this. If you see here, we pass this loader get all recipes. Now we go to the browser, inspect. Let me refresh it. Here getting the error. We are getting this course error. To resolve this, we go to the backend server.js. For that we need to install one package, npm install course. It will allow that course origin. So let's first require that course. Then we will call the course. Now refresh. Here error has gone and we are getting the 2 items from recipe item.js. Here we have the 2 items. We are getting the 2 items here. Means everything is working fine. This is the recipe item components is render. So we go to our recipe item component. So let's go to this component recipe item, and here we will render that item in a card format. So let's add some div and styling. So class name will be card container. We'll render this all recipes dot map. It will iterate each item. Return one div. We give the key to uniquely identify each element. Key will be index, and then I will add the class name card. So inside that, first we will add the image. Currently we are not saving the image in database, so I'm using this image which is present in our asset folder. So first import that food recipe image from the asset folder, food recipe.png, and I will pass it in a src. Then adding some width and height. Let's say it will be not 10, 100 pixel, 120 pixel, and then height will be, let's say 100 pixel. Then I'll add another div for the card body. So inside that card body, I'll define the title, recipe title, then time to take that make that recipe. Then we have the favorite icon, so user mark that recipe as a favorite. So adding the div, class name, title, then let's say item dot title, so for the icons I'm using the React icons. Adding one div. Inside that I will add the class name icons. So go to the browser, here React icons, and search for the icon. I'm choosing this, not this, let me choose this one. So I'm copying this import statement and go to our VS Code. First we need to install that React icons, npm I react icons. Now we will import that statement. and we'll copy this one and paste it inside this action div. I will add another div and provide a class name time. Now next we want another icon, heart icon. I will copy this icon, copy this import, and then copy this tag fa heart. Now we are done. We go back to our browser. Here we are getting the error, item is not defined. Here I have made a spelling mistake, item. Now let's refresh. Here you can see 2 items is rendered because currently in our database we have the 2 items. Let's add the time 30 minutes. I'm hard coded this value 30 minutes. So let's go to the browser. I'm closing this console and refreshing the page. Here we get the 2 items because we have the 2 items in our database. It's render nights, all the titles and all the things looks good. So in our next video we will see how we can register, login user, authenticate the user using the JWT token. We will see this in next video. If you haven't watched my previous videos, so go back and watch. I will recommend you to watch that, so we will get a better idea. If you like this video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Imaginary Engineering. Thank you for watching.